not just during the day, but also night. In this photo, with ultra-wide night mode, when you are in a dark environment with lights, this mode is honestly king when you try to take night TV shots of something. But most importantly, we do have the video features that's powered by the Snapdragon 860. Let's check it out. Also added a new feature, Nightboard Selfie. I don't usually take selfies, but when I do, I often find myself usually taking selfies in a pretty dark environment, whether if it's a restaurant or outside in the street lights. This mode helps increase the contrast while keeping the clarity. This is Poco X3 Pro's camera with more software features powered by the Snapdragon 860 and maintaining a quad camera setup from the last generation. You will get a lot of versatile content to play around and rule over the social media space. Make sure you go explore other amazing features in the Poco X3 Pro, which are a lot. Now, for design, we've also changed a little. The Poco X3 NFC was a unique looking device, but we wanted to make it even cooler than before. First, we still kept the Poco reflective chroma design, still a standout design and very cool. And we kept it symmetrical. We called it the finish line design. But it wasn't perfect. We saw some complaints about the back design, such as a lot of fingerprint when fans aren't using the case. Well, we made a change. For the Poco X3 Pro, we used a dual texture in the back. On the sides, it has a matte finish to prevent fingerprints. But not only that, we also added three new colors. We have Phantom Black, Frost Blue, and Metal Bronze. All three colors are new and refined, a more complicated color process than before. My favorite is actually the Phantom Black. It has a touch of purple to it under the light, but the blue and metal bronze is pretty awesome looking too. Very eye catching. Let us know which color you like in the comments below. We've talked about the back design. Let's actually briefly take a look at the front display. For our Poco X3 Pro display, we kept the 6.67 dot display, keeping it super immersive. We still have that tiny dot at the top. Same size as the previous generation and the Poco X3. It's still a flagship level display that features 120 Hz refresh rate and 240 Hz touch sampling rate. Still great for gaming and daily usage when you're scrolling through Instagram or Twitter. And Poco X3 Pro still kept the dynamic switch, an awesome smart tech that helps save battery by automatically adjusting each content you view to its most optimized frame rate. I personally thought this was one of the smartest features on the Poco X3 NFC.
Overall, Poco X3 Pro still has an amazing screen, but we still took it to the next level. On the Poco X3 Pro, we added Corning Gorilla Glass 6, giving flagship level display protection. For those who don't know how good the Corning Gorilla Glass 6 is, it is the level between Corning Gorilla Glass 5 and the latest Victus. To give you a rough idea, Corning Gorilla Glass 6 is a true flagship feature. Phones that are priced above 2 lakh rupees has it. And so does Poco X3 Pro. Impressive, right? To sum up Poco X3 Pro's design, we have 3 new colors: Phantom Black, Frost Blue, and Metal Bronze. All 3 looks really good. Anti-fingerprint sides to keep it more clean. A massive 6.67 inches dot display that has 120 Hz refresh rate and 240 Hz touch sampling rate. Protected by the Corning Gorilla Glass 6. Exactly the design and display you need, and more. We have upgraded Poco X3 Pro to not only offer exactly what you need, but more performance, more creative, and more design. But we did keep some of the great features from Poco X3 NFC.
The dual speaker setup. With the Poco X3 Pro, you're still getting great audio no matter what you're doing, gaming or watching videos or listening to music. And I say it's great audio with confidence because it was actually tested by DxOMark Audio. For our X3 NFC speakers, we were able to get a DxOMark Audio score of 63. Now that may not seem super impressive just by itself. But what about this? If we take a look at some of the flagships from last year and also tested for DxOMark Audio, the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra 5G scored a 68, just a little bit above Poco X3 NFC. But look at the price difference. We are pretty much on the same level as flagships. And when it comes to touch, we still have a great Z-axis linear motor. Super responsive when you're gaming and giving you the ultimate feel experience. Still, uncommon to see in the mid-range smartphone range. Last, some essential features: IR blaster, NFC, and headphone jack. Features that we believe are still very much needed based on the demands we see from the users. Poco X3 Pro has it all. So, we kept some great features from the Poco X3 NFC. Big battery of 5160 mAh with 33 watt fast charging, 120 Hz refresh rate and 240 Hz touch sampling rate on the 6.67 inches dot display. Dual speakers, Z-axis linear motor, NFC, IR blaster, and headphone jack. The features that we had in exactly what you need. And when it comes to more, a 800 series processor, 860, leading 4G processor, up to 8 GB of RAM, up to 256 GB of internal storage of UFS 3.1, Corning Gorilla Glass 6, and quad camera with more software features. This is exactly what you need and more. So now, let's have a look at the Poco X3 Pro. Point our fans, offering a great price like we did for the Poco X3 NFC. But let's do a comparison first. Now, if we take a look at some of the popular mid-rangers in the market in 2020, we have highlighted our strong points Flagship 860 processor, big screen with high refresh rate and touch sampling rate, huge 5160 mAh battery, and others. There is an old saying, it only matters when you've outdone yourself. So let's take a look at our previous generations with a massive processor upgrade, RAM upgrade, and storage speed upgrade, and maintaining all the beloved features. Our 6GB plus 128GB storage option for the Poco X3 NFC had a RRP of 41,999 rupees, and we did an early bird of 40,999 rupees, which at the time I believe shocked many fans. I was shocked myself. For the Poco X3 Pro, for our base variant, the 6GB plus 128GB storage option, we have an amazing price of 41,999 rupees. I'm so curious how many of our fans jaws dropped across the stream, or maybe even said, "What?" But actually, we're not done. We've always got that early bird. 41,999 rupees? Initially, this was the early bird price. But remember, we had a shocking achievement of 4 million Poco X3 NFC shipped in just 7 months. We want to thank our fans, so we tweaked the early bird price. We actually have an early bird pricing of 39,999 rupees. I'm confident many fans are commenting like crazy right now because I was hyped myself when I heard that we were able to do this. And what made me even more shocked was when I looked back at this. If we take a look at this chart, the upgrades, then the retail price and the early bird price compared to previous generation, can you see how amazing and crazy this pricing was? And now for a high-end variant of 8GB plus 256GB of storage, we have an amazing price of 47,999 rupees. Truly great value. So when we come back to this chart and see our early bird pricing or even the retail pricing, we beat our competitors in most of the features and we're almost half the price. This is how we do it at Poco. Now the Poco X3 Pro will be available from tonight on all of our exclusive online partners, the Raz, MeStore.pk, OLX, and Aircart. And the 8GB plus 256GB variant will also be available nationwide from tomorrow onwards, with the support of all our offline distributors, Airlink, SmartLink, Texera, and Fonzo. We will also be offering a free of charge one screen replacement within 6 months of purchase. So, here it is in summary, Poco X3 Pro Edition starting at 39,999 rupees, early bird for the 6GB variant, and 47,999 rupees for the 8GB variant. Flagship 4G performance with awesome features and a crazy price. Exactly what you need and more. Now, I know these questions are happening right now in the stream and has been happening over social media as well. Poco hears our fans and it's here. We understand how important F-Series is for our fans. F-Series started the journey, the series that caught the eyes and attention of fans and media in the industry, disrupted the market and established what we're doing here at Poco is very important. Today, we will be launching the latest F-Series, the long-awaited Poco F3, and the team came up with one term to really describe what the Poco F3 is. Poco F3, the real beast. Let's get started. Let's talk about this real beast. I know our fans can't wait. Performance, the one spec I know fans want to hear first, and maybe the most important for F-Series. For the Poco F3, we have put
an immense amount of consideration of which processor should we use. And this one choice was perfect. The Snapdragon 870, one of the latest Qualcomm 800 series chipset. In short, I can tell you the Snapdragon 870 offers beast speed. It's very fast and very capable. Now let me explain some of the details of this specific system on chip and what makes it special. First, the Snapdragon 870 uses an octa-core structure with 3 different type of cores. A similar structure of the flagship system on chip from last year 865. We have 1 prime core, 3 performance cores, and 4 efficiency cores, a flagship structure. And of course, we are also a 7nm process, making this 870 chip very power efficient. Tiny but mighty. But there is something special that makes 870 even more beast-like. And that is its prime core. It's special because the Qualcomm Snapdragon 870 have a leading prime core speed of 3.2 gigahertz. If you take a look at other flagship processors in the market, it takes the number 1 spot. But what does prime core speed actually do for us users? Compared to last year's flagship system on chip, the Snapdragon 870 has improved by more than 12% CPU performance, processing any apps with ease and offering true beast speed. And when it comes to gaming, the GPU structure using the Adreno 650, by using this structure and paired with a prime core, the GPU experience has also improved. More than 10% improvement on 865. For some of you, this may seem like a small number, but I've used the Poco F2 Pro all year last year, and I did some heavy gaming on it. My settings were always on high or max graphics, and it handled with ease. To think that there's further improvement on this, it's pretty wild. We also did do a gaming test with Genshin Impact, and the result was amazing. We ran the Poco F3 on high settings with 60 frames per second, max, and played for 1 hour straight. With the Poco F3, you can get an average of 58 frames per second. Now that's beast gaming. To support that support, we needed to keep the beast cool. So we added liquid cool technology 1.0 plus, which really helps with long period of heavy load usage, keeping the processor cooler, allowing it to run longer and smoother. But not only performance, the Snapdragon 870 is great at when it comes to AI processing. The F3 can reach 15 trillion operations per second. It's expected from flagship system on chip, taking and editing photos, videos with ease and making your overall experience just so much smoother. Then the question is how great the Poco F3 can do in a 2-2 benchmark. It scored a super high score of 640,000. A true flagship system on chip, a real beast. Compared to last year's Snapdragon 865 score that we got in Poco F2 Pro, it has quite the improvement over the flagship processor of the last year. 50,000 points in difference. So, to sum it all up, the Snapdragon 870 in the Poco F3 is one of the best processors in the industry right now, offering beast speed. But we're not done just yet. Now, to pair with such an awesome processor, we had to also match up to the RAM and ROM technology with up to 256 GB of UFS 3.1 and up to 8 GB of LPDDR5 RAM. offering beast ROM and RAM. And when it comes to connectivity, the Poco F3 is also 5G ready, up to 23x faster speed compared to 4G, and also compatible with 11 different network bands. It supports Wi-Fi 6, which is 2.7x faster than Wi-Fi 5. So, when you're home or at the office, your connection is super fast. No lag during gaming, no buffering for videos, beast speed only. Now, this is Poco F3, the real beast performance. Snapdragon, it features a 3.2 GHz prime core speed, one of the best processors in the industry, flagship ROM and RAM, 5G and Wi-Fi 6 ready. Now, we talked about how beast Poco F3's performance is. I think many people may be asking, what about display? I can tell you with all the confidence in the world, we have a real beast display. Fans out there, you won't be disappointed. What we had to make sure first is the screen gotta be big. A beast screen size, 6.67 inches, comfortable for daily viewing and any sort of gaming or content watching. Then we decided to go with a flat screen. Now, as some of Poco fans know, I am a gamer, and as a gamer, I actually can't stand missed touches. And with a flat screen, the chances of mistouching an edge is close to none. And to guarantee a full screen experience, we decided to go with a dot display. It was a decision made by how many fans appreciated and enjoyed the viewing experience from X3 NFC. How small the dot was? Well, for Poco F3, we took it to the next level. The Poco F3 has a 2.76mm dot display. Super small. If we take the Samsung Galaxy S21 dot display, for an example, it has a size of 3.61mm. Our 2.76mm tiny dot is industry-leading tiny dot, making sure it's as immersive as it gets. Now, we talked about how big and immersive the screen is. Our screen is also the Poco F3 6.67 inches screen is indeed AMOLED. This was a big ask by fans on Twitter and has been all over the media. And we heard you. But not just any AMOLED. It's an E4 AMOLED. Flagship level. One of the best screens out there. For some fans who don't know what E4 AMOLED is, let me break it down. It has a peak brightness of 1300 nits, a contrast ratio of 5 million to 1, and high brightness level at 900. So the colors will be bright and vibrant even under the sun. And compared to last generation's AMOLED material, E3, E4 is actually uses 15% less power, which helps conserve battery in general. A true beast display. It also supports true color, which is tuning the color of your content to the most realistic accuracy. A must-have feature, especially when you're watching lots of content. For me, I love documentaries like Planet Earth, and watching it on the screen brings everything to life. And as a beast flagship display, it also has HDR10+, giving our users crystal clear clarity for all their content. Let's take a look at the effect. If you take a look at the comparison, you can see that with HDR10+, the video quality is even more vibrant and clear. It optimizes each frame to the best brightness possible, even the parts of the video where it's dark. MEMC. This is an awesome feature. Let's demonstrate it. What MEMC does is intelligently analyze video as you watch, creates additional frames to give you a smooth, clear video better than you would have had without. It's amazing. On top of all the great features we also have a 360-degree light sensor. It can detect the lighting environment around you and adjust the brightness automatically. Actually, we took it one step further to protect your eyesight and making sure when staring at your screen during different environments, we have true display technology to ensure not just the brightness we are adjusting, but also the color warmth on your screen. Honestly, when I use my phone all day and all night, which I do a lot, I really appreciate this feature. Less stress on my eyes. With all of these features, the Poco F3 display is not only just flagship level, it's really one of the best displays in the industry. With a 6.67 inches flat display featuring a dot display design, 2.76 millimeter tiny dot, and E4 AMOLED that supports all the optimizing features. This